Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hope you had a great weekend. It's Monday, time to start a new day, and as bad as Mondays are for most people, I just have to tell you that this is the day that the Lord has made. I will rejoice and be glad in it. Even Mondays are made by the Lord. Let's rejoice. Let's change the outlook of Monday. I wanted to visit with you this week. My devotion time this week is going to deal with the Last Supper. And today I wanted to read 1 Corinthians chapter 11. And in verse 23, it said that the Lord Jesus, the same night in which he was betrayed, he took bread. And this is the beginning of the Last Supper as they sat down and began to eat. And Paul wanted us to recognize that in the same night that he ate his last meal with the disciples, he was betrayed. And it's hard for me to realize or even think that in the midst of doing the will of God, I could be betrayed, I could be hurt, I could be discouraged, I could be in the middle of the battle. But I want us to take from this that even in the midst of struggle, betrayal, hurts, and everything else, that God will give us the grace to fulfill His will. And no matter how big the struggle is, and no matter how great the pain is, whether it's in our body or in our spirits or in our hearts or in our minds, that God will give us the grace to fulfill His will in the midst of the greatest struggles in our lives. Jesus, while he was being betrayed by one of his closest friends, and we can look at Judas however we want to, but for 3.5 years he was entrusted with carrying the money. He was entrusted with being the treasurer of Jesus's ministry, and it was him who betrayed Jesus to the religious people to be crucified. And Jesus knew this. Jesus knew this. He was not blinded to the fact that one of his closest people was betraying him. But Jesus also knew this, that no matter what comes or what goes in life, his Father has enough grace to help us to fulfill his will. And I'm here to tell you this morning on a Monday, the day that the Lord has made, I'm here to tell you that I don't care what struggle you're going through. Now, let me rephrase that. I do care, but we need to realize that no matter what struggle we go through, no matter what pain we go through, no matter what hurts we go through, that when God has called us into something, our calling will always trump anything that happens in this life. Why? Because our Father has enough love and grace to help us to fulfill that. You are loved, and God has filled you with the grace to fulfill your calling today, no matter what. Have a great Monday. We'll see you in the morning.